Willie D Live.
What's up, family? As you know, Young Thug has been the subject of much conversation on social media over the last several days. This because of the Jailhouse audio leaks of him airing everybody out. Talking down on a lot of cats, a lot of people that he associate with. Yesterday produced a video of Thug on a podcast explaining why he was doing so much talking on the phone while in jail and talking down on his associates and so-called friends and label mates. He said, first of all, that ain't even me. Watch out, man. He said, that's not me. That's not something I normally do, man. And he gave the wildest explanation ever. He said, man, I thought that was it. I thought my life was over and I was just talking. See, so let me get this straight. Because you think your life is over, you throw everybody under the bus you're affiliated with or associated with. Everybody, you just throw them on the bus. Now, I got it. If you got a problem with somebody, if you got a real problem with somebody, and you say it with your chest, I said it, I meant it, I'm here to represent it, a fight, go with it, cool, no problem. And don't take it back. But to say that you cool with these people, you really ain't got no problem with these people, and they really ain't got no problem with you, and the same thing that you said on the phone, you've said to their face, nah, fam, that's not adding up. That's not adding up. That sounded like hate to me. And some of those comments that Thug made sounded like he really had hate in his heart for those guys he was talking about. Even when he was talking about Glorilla, calling her ugly, that was hateful. It sounded like he had hate in his heart for her. I don't get it, fam. Like, you got one life to live. You don't get a do-over. So, if I'm on my way out, I want to go out honorably. I don't want to live my entire life as a real one or proclaim to be a real one. And then when I get to the end, because I think it's over, maybe it's over, maybe it's not. But I'm under the impression that it's over. I just start throwing all these people under the bus that I so-called love or care about or rock with. That don't make sense to me. It appears to me that Young Thug did exactly what he accused others of. Folded under pressure. He folded under pressure. When you go to jail, if you don't hold your mud for nothing else, in no other circumstances, when you go to jail, you're supposed to hold your mud. You're supposed to be like, yo, I know these phones are tapped. I know they're listening. I ain't saying nothing that I wouldn't say in a courtroom. I'm not saying nothing that I wouldn't grab a bullhorn and stand downtown on Main Street and repeat, right? That's the way I look at it. I look at it like that even, on phone conversations when you're not in prison, man, or even on the internet. Whatever you say, be willing to repeat it in the face of the person that you're saying it about. Whatever it is that you say, be willing to repeat it. And most people ain't built like that. Most people gonna make excuses. Oh man, I'm sorry. No, you're not sorry. You're sorry you got caught. Thug talked about guys who've been to prison understanding if they thought that they were at the end and they were hopeless, they probably did a lot of talking. No, brother, I was there. I've been there. Well, I thought it was over. I thought it was over. And I still didn't point no fingers. I still didn't get on the phone and talk down on anybody. If I said something negative about somebody, it was somebody who understood that I got a problem. It's universally understood that I got a problem, and it's something that I was willing to repeat to their face. I wouldn't say anything. I'm just the way that I'm designed, the way I'm built, the cloth that I'm cut from. I wouldn't say anything about somebody that I wouldn't say to their face. Sometimes you might say things about somebody that you love, and it's not something that they could really stomach, they could really deal with. So maybe you do measure your words a little bit better, but you still say it. You would still say it to that person, because the idea is, if you are saying something that's not so flattering about somebody that you really, really rock with, then you need to get that message to their ears. They need to know what it is. If you see a flaw in your friends or your loved ones' behavior, you should speak on it in love. A lot of us, we don't want to have that conversation. Even when somebody tells us about ourselves, we don't want to have that conversation. But right or wrong, we do respect it when they tell us in love, right? We respect that, and we respect their opinion more. I saw dudes in the comments on social media saying, well, man, I can understand it, man, because if I was at my end, man, I would have done the same thing. I probably would have done the same thing. Yeah, man, all of us talk, man. Everybody talk like that. That's a lie. Where y'all get that shit from? That is a lie. Let me tell you something, family. Growing up, I didn't have the best male role models, but I swear for God, not before God, I swear for God, I did not know men behave the way I see men behaving today. I didn't know men that gossip. I just never knew men gossip. The most that men would do is, talk about some woman that they've been with or whatever. And I guess that's some level of gossiping, but sitting around talking about other dudes and stuff, I never been around those type of dudes. I didn't know men do that. I didn't know men sit around and just talk about other dudes. But man, today, the way things are today, they be even on the internet, just getting on the internet and talking slick, saying things that you wouldn't say to a man's face. Now, I did see some of that, but let me back up. It wasn't men, it was boys. This is when I was growing up. I'm a teenager. And you would have a sucker get on the phone and say something slick that he wouldn't say to your face. But the trip part about it back then is, if you were able to get on the phone with somebody, that meant you knew where they lived. And they knew they was going to have to see you. So people comments about others were a little bit more tempered, because they understood that when you see them, it's going to be on sight. So I'm not buying that explanation that, oh, I thought it was over, so I'm just talking. I'm just talking, man. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking. I'm just talking. I was in there for a long time, and nah, man, nah, I'm not buying it. But that was a hell of a finesse explanation. I don't know, fam. Did he fool you? Give me a thumbs up if you rocking with it. Thumbs down if you say, nah, man. Nah, Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.